Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, Mr. Cole, and welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the Rider career as Patrick McDonald has returned to winning ways and he'll be looking to continue it here on the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Now I remember this circuit being a bogey track for Dan McDonald, but let's see if it will be the case for a different McDonald as he sets up for two qualifying efforts around this circuit. Of course, that final corner, point of contention on the Moto2 MotoGP machines, but shouldn't be the case on the Moto3 machine. We will find out though. Let's head towards the first corner, braking around 100 meters down to second, hit that apex, and hard on the power on the exit, all over that curb. In this circuit, very high speed, very dangerous baby for a motorcycle rider with not much runoff either side at these high speed sections and in a couple of corners as well. Brake around 70 meters, get down the first gear over that hairpin. Feels very difficult on a motorbike to negotiate. Pretty easy with a car with four wheels, but on two wheels, very different story. So even with that kink heading into that corner as well, flat out, but very much a corner on these motorbikes. So once again, down to first gear, through the right hander, downhill, braking around 80 meters. Now heading towards the double left here, which kind of flow into each of these corners. Blind corner at first, in second gear. Making sure you're hitting that apex. Then up to third. Then slight dab on the brakes, back down to second. Then hard on the power, flat out through the right kink. Then onto the back straight, over the hill, and then downhill towards the final couple of corners. Very tricky to get right. Even a passing spot though, in the races. You've seen in the past, down to second, braking around 70 meters, then into final corner. We're braking, don't want to be leaning too much into that corner. You can still see the backing getting out on the Moto3 bike, but 40.1 for McDonald, solid banker lap. Of course, you want to be much faster on this second lap. Alex familiar with the circuit on this Leopard, and taking a toast to the normal line for the first corner. As now we head up the hill. I don't think he'll be close enough to that rider in front to maybe get slipstream by the end of the lap. We'll see how fast he's going. Look at that, quarter of a second up. So that's either Martin or Di Giannantonio in front. Let's go down another straight here. You can see this circuit's more like a Bruno, with tight corners then long straights for these bikes. It's all down the first gear, running wide. I think he just about salvaged that corner by getting a good exit. Now down the hill, you can see he's lost a couple of tenths, but he's still up on his previous lap. Short shift up to third, got on the power very early there, through the left-hander, very good. Much smoother into that left as well. Very good sector for McDonald. As Fanati does a 39.7. McDonald using all of the circuit and some, heading to the final sector. 10.5 down on Fanati, but he's going to be aggressive into his final couple corners. Into the final corner. Carried so much speed into it, but did he get a good exit as we head towards the line? He does, but he's 3/10 of a second down, 40 flat for McDonald. Just improves by a tenth, but he's still right up there, leading the third right ahead of Antonelli and Bastianini, with Di Giannantonio rounding out the top 10. As on the second row it's McPhee, Martin and Budega, and on the front row it's Mir and Canet, headed by Fanati once again. That grabbed pole. Normally you see that turn throwing qualifying, but early in the session Fanati put down the marker, no one beat it. Great that from the Italian, but great that for McDonald as well, in the top 10 in qualifying once. And again, hopefully won't be too many issues heading towards the first corner. Won't have to really dive into it like he did in Germany. Especially has once again finished Patrick at the back. But what can our Patrick do in the race? As we look at the grid, we're pretty happy front row. McDonald switching tactics once again in the race with the tyres as he leads that third row. Going back to the medium rear, which is hopefully mean slightly more tyres. Then towards the end of the race, we've got lots of traction zones. That rear will be spun up quite a few times this race. Unlike Bruno, if we can actually get in the lead, maybe manage the tyres, but still, tyres will be very worn. As we are revving up the engine, the lights appeared and go out for this 7-lap race. We've got lots of laps to cover as well. So let's see if this tyre gamble will pay off for McDonald. He's gambling into the first corner, diving down the inside of McPhee, down the inside, Canet into second. Fantastic move for McDonald. He's somehow got a run on his teammate as well and takes the lead. We complained about Mir being aggressive in the race in Bruno at the beginning. What about McDonald? Very aggressive. Heading up the hill, down the inside of his teammate, into the lead, over the hairpin. And Canet grabs second as well, ahead of Mir. Bad corner. For the Spaniards, whoever goes in front as well, if one of them wins it, will lead the championship. Even here between Mir and Canet. Mir back up the second, so if this is how the race ends, as he also got to fend off McPhee with another super start round here. That's got, remember that happened during Dan McDonald time. John McPhee had a good start around this track, which can produce some unusual results. But we've already had a couple races like that in Moto3. But if it finishes as it is now, Canet would have a 1-point lead, even here, ahead of Mir. It could not be closer between the Spanish pair. But they're way behind McDonald at the moment, 2/3 of a second behind. Let's head towards the final corner. No way of that bump in the final corner. Just want to lean out a bit early. Maybe it will affect his run towards the first corner, but he's still got a good lead of over half a second ahead of Mir. And of course he did the fastest having that opening that. Very aggressive was Dan Patrick McDonald. Dan McDonald's been aggressive round in the past as well and has not paid off as handsomely as that. As McPhee up to third ahead of Canet. Once again, if Canet's off the podium, quid's in for the Leopard boys. And look at this, Patrick McDonald with over a second lead ahead of Mir. He's getting used to this fee in the second half of the season. It's a totally new Patrick McDonald. Had a break, went home after Germany. Definitely has paid off for him. Of course, they are back-to-back races from Germany to Brno, if I remember correctly, so it wasn't a long break, but still. Recharged his batteries, charged his mindset maybe. Been much improved in qualifying, and that's just led to much improved races. Look at this. Tyres are hardly worn as well on the bottom right after almost 2 laps. Fantastic, as Canet is fending off shooters all over the place for his third place with Martin and McPhee. The wee McPhee come alive once again after a couple of down races as well. Look, a 2.5 second lead for McDonald. Maybe he can have a race like Bruno, where he just nicks after the tyres and McPhee up to third ahead of Martin, with Mir in second, Canet. Or is he playing the rating game again? It's Australia Glitzer ride. He's got a second lead, McDonald over the line onto the third lap. Ahead of his teammate, 40.4 as well, fast as that. Tyres hardly worn. Maybe didn't even need a medium on the rear. But we thought McDonald would be fighting like a hell during the whole of this race, but now he's just cruising as Arenas down on that main drop from 21st. Pretty good position for the Spanish rider. And you can see why we went for the medium rail on that brake, and you saw the rear light up there under the brakes. Canet up to third head of Martin. Maybe he doesn't want to hang around in this race. Of course, this circuit very much a slipstreaming circuit for the motorbikes as well. So maybe we're seeing Canet just being sucked into that slipstream. And he thought, I might as well try and make a move. Same for Martin, back up to third ahead of Canet. Before McDonald once again the madness is unravelling behind him, as now McPhee's in that battle for third. The Spaniard just holding off the Scot. Second half lead over Mir for McDonald though. It's been smooth sailing once again. You'll be forgetting of thinking having deja vu and thinking this Brno race all over again, but for McDonald. This division he wants to be. He needs to be in for the remainder of the second half of this season. He just keeps doing this. He'll grab the title at a canter, despite what me and Canet are doing behind. As it looks like the Australia Glitzer rider back ahead of McPhee into third as we go onto the fourth lap. Approach the halfway mark of this race as well, and it's a 1.3 second lead over Mir. McDonald dips into the 40.3s now. Very consistent. And Martin is down from 7th. 7th. We've got a mighty gang behind then. As Guevara's down in 6th, he may be caught up in his cushion. Now Ramirez is down in 23rd. And now Leopard is down from 31st. What have you created behind Martin? And now the Germans on the podium in 3rd. What is going on behind? McPhee up into 3rd. Canet has been ambushed, and it seems. Martin caught out in the scramble, and he is their victim. Before he claimed Guevara, Ramirez and Della Porta behind as well. Canet back up to 3rd of the German. We're having our unusual race here with the German battling for a podium. As we're halfway through it, and he's battling Canet for that position. We've got Mir 1.2 seconds behind his teammate. That's been the gap ever since Mir's taken 2nd. But it's the battle for 3rd we're keeping an eye on this race once again. And Canet is fighting like a hell for it. It's all Mir gaining back slight on McDonald. Kenny might have to respond now as those tyres are pristine in the bottom right. You can afford to push it now, Cam McDonald, with 3 laps remaining. Why not? As yes, Mir is coming. Gets to the 41.2, does McDonald. Might have to dip back into the 40s to hold off Mir, who seems to be straddling that line of the 41s and 40s now. There's the German back basking at the first corner for 3rd. Oh, can he pull off a podium? He's been very strong recently. There's Ortel. And there goes McDonald gaining back. Couple of tenths in that first sector. And now here comes McPhee back up into 3rd. The Scot still wants a podium as well. So we got 3 riders who are at least battling for that final podium spot. And here comes Canet grabbing it back. The championship leader, he wants that podium to maintain his championship lead as well, heading to Silverstone next time out. And all the gap remains the same, Mir taking some time back slightly in that sector, but that's good enough for McDonald. Going to keep it in 3rd. That seems pretty good through there. Now down this back straight. Now you can't even see the banana at the corner until now. And all Mir gained back another 2nd, but it's still very even on this lap until that moment. McDonald drifting through the penultimate corner. As Canet drops off the podium. McPhee up to 3rd. Heading on to the penultimate lap of the race. It could be heating up between the Leopard riders as McDonald does dip into the 40s though. But McPhee with the fast at 40.2. That's how much slipstream gives you. With Otto up to 3rd now ahead of the Scot. He's had his moment in the sun. German quickly puts him back into the rain. There's Maria Herrera down from 20th, having a good race was the Spaniard. Maybe looking at a point until then. The gap remains the same between McDonald and Mir, around 9/10 of a second. This is what happened with the Kenyan second half of the season. The consistency looks there. Much better than the first half of the season. At least for the most part. In patches he had it. Of course around Magello and Barcelona he did. As there goes Canet back up into our podium spot ahead of Hotel. And now 2.5 ahead of Mir. What happened to the Spaniard in that sector? Lost half a second. Or has McDonald just sped up? As you can see, his tyre's still not worn. He could be racing around here for a week and they'd still not be worn, I don't think. as you are approaching the final lap of another entertaining race behind. But not out front, as Mir's lost another 3/10, has now dropped down to third. Oh, as the Spaniard's tyre's gone off, with Canet up to second. When you go into the final, I was worried McDonald's tyres would be going off, but instead it's his teammate Mir. And look at that, 40.3. Responding nicely as McDonald. As Canet does the fuss out 40 flat though. Go up to second, but he's almost 2 seconds behind McDonald. And here comes Mir back into second. Oh, now he's got the slipstream he can play now. For a bit, they're distracting themselves though from the guy in first, which is very good for McDonald on this final lap. The gap remains the same. And into the hairpin slightly wide for McDonald. A decent enough exit. Oh, that front tyre's worn now. Around 5%. Crazy way around here. He goes down the hill, does McDonald. That's much better into the right hand as Mir overtakes Canet there. So Canet maybe holding on to a podium or not. Here comes the German. 1.4 seconds back. Mir's gaining back loads, but of course that's with slipstream as well. So it's over a second gap. McDonald can maintain this. Can hold on if he just keeps hitting the apexes like he's been doing on this final lap. But a more important question, where is everyone finishing behind? Is Canet off the podium once again? Could that mean Mir will lead the championship heading to Britain? We will find out in a moment's time. Oh, wait not. Look at that, the German up to second. Not happy with just a podium. And Mir shot back off the podium. McDonald crosses the line with another victory, and looks like Canet's grabbed second. Out of nowhere. Master tactics from Canet, who grabbed the fastest lap as well. 2 seconds though behind McDonald, who grabs another victory. He's back streaking again, is the Kenyan. With Otel grabbing a fantastic podium on the KTM in third, just ahead of Mir, who lost out in the final couple of corners. After Nick and I holding on to second for most of that race. McPhee dropped back in fifth. Williger in sixth. Bastianini seventh. Williger's teammate in eighth. Anthony ninth. Once again, all Leopards in the top 10 with Loy finishing in 10th. Then we've got Binder. Great result for the South African in 11th on another KTM. It seems like KTM don't have as big a disadvantage to the Hondas round here. With Fanati down in 12th. DJ Antonio 13th. Dino 14th. And Martin regains a point after his fall. Just ahead of Rodrigo by just over 3/10 of a second. Kornfeld just off a point by a couple of seconds in 18th on this Peugeot. Mahindra in 19th. With Bezecchi as well having a good result. With Mir Herrera at the back. So in the championship, Canet leads Mir by 12 points when it looked like gap would be reduced for most of the race. It has actually been extended by 7 points for the Australia Glitzer rider. But look at Patrick McDonald, he is right up there now. Just 16 points behind his teammate, just over a race win behind Canet. What a start to the second half of the season for the Leopard rider, with Fanati in fourth, drifted back now from the top 374 points back, but 16 ahead of Martin. The Spaniard still in fifth, despite his fall ahead of the KTM. VR46 Italian pair in 6th and 7th. Then we've got Bashi in 8th, DJ Antonio in 9th, but Fee in 10th. I've done the good result, just 3 points behind the Italian now, and 2 points ahead of the hero of that race, the German in 3rd. In that race, but 11th in the stands, just 2 points behind McPhee now. Then you've got Antonelli in 12th, Loy in 13th, Dean in 14th, Rodrigo in 15th, and looking further down, we now got the main draw right up to 28th. He's making a charge up the field now. Still hasn't scored a point, but he's now ahead of Bo. As they in the constructors' standings, once again, still 100% record for Honda, 119 points ahead of KTM, with Peugeot in 3rd, Ranger in 4th, with none yet to score. And yes, an ecstatic Patrick McDonald. He looks so happy. That's probably the happiest he's been this season, because he knows he's now in the championship hunt. As the clones are very ecstatic, and the cameraman has gone to sleep. I don't know what's happened. He's just got stuck behind an advertising awarding. Wake up! Wait, no, he's not waking up. As yes, perfect reputation weekend for McDonald as well. And we head to the next race in Britain, full of confidence does Patrick McDonald. Can he make it 3 in a row around the Silverstone circuit, a speed circuit, a bit like Austria? Or will he fall back like we have seen in the Netherlands and Germany beforehand? Find out next time. So out for watching, and I'll see you then.